What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zoe with No Days Off DFS here to bring you that NBA slate breakdown for the 9-gamer we got today over on DraftKings. Hopefully everyone had hopefully you guys had a decent night last night. If you're part of the Patreon over here on the No Days Off fam, core wasn't a bad core at all. Kamara, low owned, definitely was a key piece last night for getting close to the cash line. Champagne value, he did pretty well. You couldn't go wrong with him. And of course, Marvin Bagley, Barlow, you could have went wrong if you played Barlow. Unfortunately, Barlow, he was out there, just didn't do enough. And then, of course, who was that? I think it was Jarris Walker or something like that, came in off the bench behind him and just dominated while he was out there, and definitely was just, Then Nasi DiVincenzo, OT, he still was able to get there. He did pretty well. Then the studs, Maxey, he killed it. Ant, he killed it. Denny, he killed it. Fox, he pretty much hit value. And then Jaylen Brown, he killed it as well. So definitely, if you mix in any of these studs in with the score, you should have did pretty well last night. So hopefully you did. Let me know down in the comments section, how was it last night for you in the NBA? Thunder, we won again, man. If you actually watch and enjoy basketball, and I mean, I'm not just saying it because it's my team, but it's crazy how we just have so many pieces we could just plug in and they just fit so seamlessly and they just still get the job done. It's just amazing. All right, Portland on back-to-back taking on Cleveland. Drew Holiday is still doubtful. I don't know why he has the green tag right there. Scoot Henderson, Tybo, all these guys are going to be out over there as well. For Cleveland Cavaliers, Lonzo Ball, he is probable to play. Jared Allen out. Sam Morrell out. So we should still be getting Evan Mobley sitting there starting at the center spot, and then Tyson, he should still be inside the starting lineup. Of course, the only thing that's going to really change is that Garland's going to be back. Denver taking on Indy. Jamal Murray, he's questionable to play. I want to say he left last game with an injury or something like that, but definitely pay attention to that. Joker, he's probable to play. Of course, Joker's good. Joker, he's going to be out there. Christian Braun, Aaron Gordon, they're still out over there for them. For the Indiana Pacers, still without Aaron Nesmith, Obi Top Dog. That's really all that's important over there for them. San Antonio Spurs, back-to-back for them. Castle is still out, and Wemby is still out. And then for Orlando, they are still without Paulo Banchero. For the Clippers, honestly, I don't even want to look at the daggone Clippers. I really don't want to look at the Clippers, especially after the other night. But Bogdanovich, only player out for them. For Atlanta, Kristaps Porzingis, he's sick again. I think that sickness that he had last year must be back or something like that. But that came out yesterday that he's going to be out. Charlotte Hornets, LaMelo Ball, probable to play. Brandon Miller, he's actually going to be out for them. That's really just it over there. New York Knicks on back-to-back, still without OG, still without Lemmy Shamet. Brooklyn Shitters taking on Chicago Bulls. Nothing over here really for Brooklyn, still without Cam Thomas. Chicago Bulls, nope. Kobe White, actually Kevin Huerter. I know Kobe White and Kevin Huerter, they were out last game. I really don't actually believe they still should be out. Never mind, they are going to be out. Calf string and a hamstring. Cool. Good to go. All right, Sacramento Queens taking on the Houston Rockets. For them, Dennis Cordair, he's questionable to play. Sabonis, he's still out. Dennis, he's been missing like the last couple games anyway. Monk, probable to play. Then for the Houston Rockets, Steven Adams, probable to play. Definitely, that's really going to be the one that we want to actually pay attention to. The Detroit Pistons taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. Duncan Robinson, he's questionable to play. That popped up the other day. He was actually out last game that they just played going up against Atlanta, and instead they put Jenkins into the starting lineup. So that'll probably be the same thing they do here if Duncan's going to be out again. And then for the Milwaukee Bucks, Kevin Porter Jr. put the team on his back, was out there carrying them, doing everything, and then had back spasms. So he left the game. He's questionable to play for today. Hopefully, I mean, he's had enough time, got some massages and stuff going on. He should, I honestly think he should be good. Then Giannis, of course, he's going to play. All right, head on over to DraftKings, the site I play the most on the site. If you guys don't have an account, you want one, check the link down in the description box below so you guys get that deposit match bonus and join your boy over here on the Kang. All right, San Antonio Spurs taking on Orlando. If Fox is in, not limited, anything like that. Only played 31 minutes last night. This is where you attack Orlando, opposing ball handlers, players that can definitely get to the rim, facilitate for others. That's going to be De'Aaron Fox, 8,900. Definitely do not mind that at all for the price. Would it be in the back of them back-to-back? I do think possibly we could look towards some players like Dylan Harper. Maybe we could see some more minutes for Dylan. I know they have slowly been ramping him up. That would be the only handicap that I think we could actually see for Dylan. That might be sorry, I had a cough. That would be the only hampering that I could think for Dylan Harper over here. Outside of that, Vassell didn't have the best game last night, was in foul trouble. Definitely someone else that you can look to. We know he's going to have the scoring punch, really, if they want to stay in this with Orlando. Outside of that, Champagne, if we want to dabble with that, but I really don't see myself actually getting there or going to Luke Cornett. I know he's been playing much better, much better, but 5 blocks, not really going to be that repeatable when you look at it. Granted, I will say Orlando, they do love to get to the rim. If he can stay out of foul trouble, that would definitely be a spot where he could possibly be able to rack up a couple of decent blocks here in this position, but not something I'm going to necessarily go chase. Keldon Johnson wouldn't mind his value, and I'm not going to chase the big old Harrison Martin games. We do know that he definitely can pop every now and then, and last night was one of those nights where he just actually popped and just had it going on, and honestly surprised the hell out of me when I looked at it this morning. Over here on the Orlando side of things, just like with the Spurs, you can attack just like Orlando. You can attack the Spurs with opposing guards. So of course, Jalen Suggs, just the way that this dude's been out there playing, definitely been pretty consistent. We know that he has the upside to get to the 40-ish range. 7,200, not bad at all in regards to his price, going ahead and getting to him. But I will say, I was very lackluster on wanting to play Anthony Black last time out when they were playing going up against Chicago, because it's just like, man, can he really just continue to do this? I guess the jury is out. The jury is officially out. Anthony Black definitely can keep up this consistency that he's continuously shown. And if you don't want to pay up for Suggs, definitely Black with the minutes that he's playing, and then of course no Paolo being out there, I do think that might actually just be the whole benefactor of the fact that, hey, Paolo's not out here, he's able to act and he's being aggressive, getting those shot attempts and whatnot. 5,500, not a bad price tag to go ahead and pay for one of the guards over here from Orlando. I definitely do not mind it. I do think there's some decent upside. Desmond Bane, I said it, I'm probably not necessarily going to want to click on Desmond Bane's name, but he went out there, he had a really good game going up against Chicago. Definitely someone that we can look towards over here. On the flip side, Jalen Wells, he was able to knock down almost everything that he was taking last night going up against them. Definitely looking at a play like Desmond Bane, he's in the categories of like the Anthony Edwards, where Ant dropped 43.25 fantasy points going up against them, and he was killing it from three. If Bane actually takes the 3-point attempts and they're actually going in, this could be a pretty big day for him. Same thing like Cam Johnson when he just played versus the Spurs recently, 6 of 9 from 3, 44 fantasy points. So definitely the upside could be there for Desmond Bane, especially if the 3 ball is falling out there for him. Outside of that, of course, Franz is Franz. We could definitely go there. 8,800, not bad on the teetering and the high end of a mid-level stud. And then Wendell Carter Jr., I'll just continue to say it, man. As long as he's out there and he's playing the minutes, he's not in foul trouble, it's an okay spend at the center position, especially a sub 6K center. Not bad at all. I will take that all day. Portland taking on Cleveland. Portland, of course, they're on the back end of back-to-back. Went down to the wire over there for them last night in their game going up against Toronto. Now they're traveling down to Cleveland, not a far travel, but of course, Denny Avdia at 9,400, do it all. Another game where he had 14 assists, damn near triple-double last night, 57 fantasy points. He's going to have to do it all again, put the team on his back for him. If you want to get there, we have seen opposing guards actually play pretty well, and then he is going to have the size advantage against going up if he gets the switches with Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. Either way, I do think that it's going to be more of a Tice or a DeAndre Hunter trying to guard him, but at the same time, if you do that, then you're taking those defenders off of players like Jeremy Grant or Kamara, who can also be able to go out there and get theirs as well. I definitely don't mind Denny Avdia if we do think he can have the matchup size advantage here in this position, of course, if they can actually truly hunt the switches out there for him. Outside of that, Shaedon Sharpe, he's playing off the bench. Okay, but more of a GPP option just because of the price. Again, I do not expect Jrue Holiday to play. Last time I checked that he should not be anywhere close to being available to play right now. Donovan Clingan, definitely with the size that he has, as long as he can keep himself out of foul trouble. Not a lot of minutes last night, 21 minutes. I do like the upside. We have seen it opposing centers. Huff, if they would have just like gave him a full, just normal run in, that game actually has stayed close. Could have been a much bigger day and game for him. Definitely double-double could be in the cards. Just depends on the minutes if they actually give it to him. Jeremy Grant didn't really do too much last night to me. 19 points is great, cool. 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Definitely another spot we can go ahead and attack. Don't mind it, especially if you're dealing with defenders being more on the Denny Avdia, the Kamaras and stuff like that. We did just see Pascal Siakam drop 37 fantasy points, and that was in a blowout. Walsh for Boston dropped 35, so I definitely don't mind getting up here to Jeremy Grant, especially at the 6,100 price tag. And then I can go right back to Kamara. The shot falling, the rebounds going, and then of course the defensive upside that he has. I'll take all of that all day. 6 of 10 from the field. I'm not going to expect that necessarily again. Definitely was a very hot shooting night and coming off of a back-to-back with some travel, but definitely someone I wouldn't mind having inside of my player pool. Going on over to the Cleveland side of things, of course, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, of course, with there not being any Jared Allen, the rebounding upsides there, the double doubles. He's actually looking pretty aggressive out there whenever it comes down to it, and definitely, of course, kind of look for a shot. I will definitely take that. Of course, this game going up against Indy was on the back to back, so, and coming off 39 minutes, really wasn't too interested in playing him right there. But we have seen it, opposing centers going up against Portland. They've done pretty well. I talked about it last night. Jacopoto, even though he got into foul trouble, that was his issue last night. If Mobley keeps his hands to himself, definitely would be probably one of the better spends and the main guys I want to get to over here from Cleveland. Don't mind Donovan. Darius Garland, he's I think there's other guards. I'd rather play I'd rather drop down to Black before I play Darius Garland, if I'm going to be honest over there for that. DeAndre Hunter, he's always alive, but Tice, man, that's a huge price jump, 5,700 after he was 4,800. Granted, he is coming off of back-to-back really great games. I don't mind it. I don't hate that, but just got to make sure that he is actually starting, and maybe I could take a stab there, but I'm not too sure if he's going to actually necessarily have those shot attempts, especially with Garland being out there inside the lineup as well. I got to see it. I wouldn't mind it, but I will say that price hike to 5,700 is going to make me actually think a little bit more on it. If he doesn't get the start, and if they kind of need the size, Dean Wade, if Wade gets the start, then definitely would be a nice little value GPP pivot that you can go to that I wouldn't mind switching to as well over there. Denver taking on Indiana Pacers. Really over here, the Joker, as long as he's in, of course, we're going to want to go ahead and play him. Look at it. He's just probable, again, dealing with that wrist. It's been a thing for the last couple of games with him. Only thing is, of course, we just always want to make sure that Indy can actually keep the game close enough if you're going to actually spend up that high for someone like the Joker. But if Jamal Murray's out, that's even more usage over there for him. And if Murray is going to miss this game, then, of course, I would imagine that we're going to get the Bruce Brown, Tim Hardaway Jr., the uptick for both of those guys, especially since Strother, Brahms, both those guys are going to be out already. So definitely would be paying attention to that right there in that regards. Now, outside of that, Peyton Watson, we already know Peyton Watson, he's going to be out there. He's still starting. He's been playing pretty well, okay, in that regards. But the one that's been popping, Spencer Jones. Homie found a shot. Homie figured it out. And, I mean, I'm not necessarily trying to say that I'm chasing, because the DVP metrics are showing me like this is a pretty great spot for him at the power forward spot. He could be able to go out here and play pretty well. I know it says small forward up there, but bro actually is lined up as the power forward. I don't know why, but definitely would not mind going to Spencer Jones at 4,200. Pretty good value over here. And then if Jamal Murray's going to be out, that's just even more shot attempts for some of the other guys, for like the Spencer Jones and for also the Peyton Watson and Cameron Johnson being out there. Indy, their defense, it's doo-doo. It's shit. So long as they can just keep it close enough, that's all that's going to be needed. But of course, a player like Jamal Murray, if he was going to actually be out, I do think that this could actually stay closer. Right now, it is a 7.5 point spread, which definitely means that this game could be live to actually be okay, and maybe we can get a classic Joker game if that's going to be the case. Going on over to the other side on the Indiana Pacers, looking at them, really, it's the same old over here for us. Pascal Siakam, 8,900, right there, teetering between being like a top level stud and like a Bennett Mathurin. I really just need to see more from him. I swear he's out there, but he just does not do enough for me, especially at that price. I mean, of course, is going to be live for a play. Yeah, possibly, but I'd rather just go ahead and drop down here to Nemberhard, who I know go out there. He will score. He will also go ahead and play some pretty solid defense. And then if he's got it going on out there from three, just lighten it up. And we have seen opposing point guards, they've been cooking going up against Denver, man. Nemberhard, his brother, just went out here and dropped 50.25. Oh, nah. You're not about to go out here and outdo me. Brothers versus brothers, man. And this is, of course, I know they're not playing in the same game tonight. But if he just saw what his brother just did, man, just think about it. His brother had 50 fantasy points going up against them. Hopefully we can see Nemberhard, who is, better in my eyes, definitely should be able to go out there and do the same thing. Outside of that, TJ McConnell, of course we can go ahead and take him. I mean, the Energizer Bunny, he's out there, only played 6 minutes in that last game. I'm not too worried about that. I definitely will go right back to the well right there. And then Jarris Walker, if he's starting, I mean, that's another value option that you can get. Definitely don't mind that right there. Huff, I do think that he's going to have his work cut out for him a little bit. But if he can keep his hands to himself and he can go out there and put his best Anthony Davis impression on, knocking the ball down from three as well and getting those blocks, I definitely think the upside is true and it's real and it's legit for him out there. And I wouldn't mind going towards him as another option. Oh, my goodness gracious. The FBI needs to investigate the Clippers, man, because that crap right there, just benching James Harden, what the Clippers did is exactly what Becky Hammond does in WNBA. Pull all the starters just to prove a point. That was exactly what I watched right there with that crap in that game. Anyway, Clippers taking on Atlanta. Really, James Harden, 9,600. If you want to stomach it, if you think you want to go back there, going to be dealing with that Dyson Daniels, that Nickeil Alexander-Walker defense out there. So, kind of like a mid-tier option to me. Of course, Kawhi Leonard would be the actual option that I want to get to, 8,100. Looks like apparently he's safe to play in the blowout. Played 30 minutes and just was doing any and everything out there. Has the better position spot matchup that I do like out here for him. I really don't feel like nobody's going to be able to defend or stop him out there. All right, so kids really kind of messed up this morning, me trying to get this video done. So instead, I'm just going to go through real quick on the teams and just in regards to players that are going to make my player pool that I'll actually just have some interest in. Again, looking over here for the Clippers, it's definitely going to be Kawhi Leonard, Zubac. Those will be the main two options that I want to get to. Of course, no Porzingis being out there. Love the upside for Zoo. Should be able to be in like that Jalen Duren role. Long as he's actually going to be out there, that's the only thing that I'm really going to worry about over here for the Clippers. Over here for Atlanta, for them, of course, Jalen Johnson, everything that he's doing, he's definitely going to be in play. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, the shot attempts, everything that he's got going on. And then Onyeka Okongwu, his ability to actually stretch the floor, I definitely want that. 7,500, not a bad price tag, like the upside over there for him. And then, of course, no Porzingis being out there, he's out there. Now, with that being said, Guy, 4,400 off the bench. I do like the upside because he is going to have to play minutes as a backup big over here with Porzingis being out. So definitely, of course, going to have to look to him in the player pool. For the Charlotte Hornets, long as LaMelo is actually going to be in, it looks like maybe his minutes are back-ish to what they should be. Now, I know when he played versus New York earlier this season, didn't have the best game, but Melo in the Garden is kind of like Josh Giddey in the Garden. They love playing over there in New York in the Garden. Definitely Melo will be in the player pool and an option for me on today. And then outside of that, maybe the rookie Knipple could be something over there. I know New York, they are actually a pretty solid defensive team, but one spot where you can beat them, and the Boston Celtics showed it last night that, you know, we can hang with them pretty much, is being able to knock down three ball. That's where you're going to want to attack them. On the flip side of things, over here, going on to the New York Knickerbockers, for them, Karl-Anthony Towns, I like him. This is definitely a spot where we've seen opposing centers be able to go out there and crush. 9,300, not a bad option. Only played 33 minutes last night, so not too bad, and 41 fantasy points. Only thing that really sucked was he wasn't really rebounding. That really just killed me. Josh Hart, long as he's in the starting lineup, this is one of those juicy spots where he can rack up a couple of steals and stuff like that. 7,900, not a bad price option. Mikal Bridges was on one last night. Not going to necessarily chase that over here. Definitely will have some interest in someone like Miles McBride. I do think this could be an upside spot. 5,400 isn't bad. And then Jalen Brunson at 800, he's like playable, but not like a must-play option to me. Mitchell Robinson, long as he's not going to be limited, maybe we could see some more minutes from him here in a pretty decent spot take on going up against Charlotte. But other than that, really, it's kind of just going to be Josh Hart, Karl-Anthony Towns will be like the main two options. I'm not necessarily going to try to chase and look after that Mikal Bridges game that he just had. On the Brooklyn Shitter side of things, taking on Chicago Bulls, Michael Porter Jr., of course, 8,400, yes, in play. Clowney, 5,500. It just seems like whatever he does, they're not moving his price, and I just like that. 55, pretty solid option. If I'm not going to be able to get up to Michael Porter Jr., I know for a fact I could play Clowney and I could have some decent upside and an option. Claxton playing better with Michael Porter Jr., 6,400, decent spend right here, mid-ish over there, kind of in that Rudy Gobert position like what it was last night for us. Love the upside here going up against Vooch and them. Definitely the rebounding upside. Double-double. Like I'm going to just go ahead and call it now. Double-double for sure. In the spot going up against them. Outside of that, Demeen, Igor, however how to say his name, value option over there at guard, 5,100. But again, I'd rather just go ahead and get up to Anthony Black instead. The upside is definitely much better. And then all these other guys, not really too interested in them. Definitely don't feel like the DVP matches in regards to what I want to get. But Clowney, Claxton, and then of course Michael Porter Jr., just all the usage and everything that he has over there. It's kind of hard to ignore getting over there to that. On the Chicago Bulls side of things, with of course Kevin Huerter being out, Kobe White being out, long as Trey Jones is in, definitely the value option you get off the bench. Pretty much a pretty great fantasy point per minute player when he's out there. Like his upside in the position. Josh Giddey, 9,800. I don't have to really talk about Josh Giddey. Big Vooch, 7,600. Definitely his ability to stretch the floor. Okay defense whenever he actually wants to get involved on that side. And then of course rebounding is going to be there for him as well. 7,600 is not bad, but again, I'd rather just go ahead and play Claxton on the other side. Like that just makes sense to me instead. Ayo Dosunmu, he is of course going to get those minutes with there not being no Kevin Huerter, with there being no Kobe White. And then of course if Isaac Okoro is still out, that should even more minutes for Ayo, and I love the upside. And then of course Buzelis, with there being no Kobe White, more shots are going to go right back to our boy big Buzelis, and this is a pretty decent spot to get him at low ownership at 6K. Definitely do not mind that and love the upside for him here as well. Sacramento Queens taking on the Houston Rockets. This should be a tough matchup all around. Of course, you know, Houston is one of the top defenses in the league. Everyone over here, to me, GPP options. Russell Westbrook, just because there's no telling what Russell Westbrook we're going to get. We're going to get the 64 fantasy point Russell Westbrook or the 23 fantasy point Russell Westbrook. Not necessarily a staple or a main play that you got to get to. Same thing for DeMar DeRozan. Same thing for Zach LaVine. All of them are GPP options, the main guys that you will want to actually get over here. On the Sacramento Queens. With that being said, maybe the only spot I do really think that they are susceptible to is if you actually had an athletic big, and I really don't see that for Eubanks or for Precious Achiuwa being out there. So honestly, the Queens, they're just a complete fade. Now on the flip side of things, everybody over here for the Houston Rockets, they're in play because the Sacramento, they're pretty shit on defense, but the spot that you can attack them at the most is at center spot. Shane Goat, 76.5 fantasy points versus Utah when he should have had that first game. Really, I don't think that he's necessarily worth this price tag. I really don't feel like he's been playing worthy of being in this high echelons of this 9K range. I don't understand why or how he's been stuck up here for so long, but he has been. But definitely in play, really great spot for him going up against them. I would read off the numbers in regards to opposing centers that are in this position versus them, but I don't have the time to. Outside of that, of course, Kevin Durant, anytime he's going up against his boy Russ going up against KD. Yes, they try to bring it for each other, but again, that's why Russ is going to be a GPP option. Same thing for KD, 8,300. There's some other mid-tier studs I can get to in better games and whatnot that don't predict to be a blowout. This is a 15.5 point spread currently right now, so I'm not going to waste too much time. Reed Shepard would be the one I want to get down here to. Jabari Smith Jr. Those guys definitely just value options, especially if we do believe this game could be a blowout and could be a wash. Detroit taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. Looking at them, Cade Cunningham is Cade Cunningham. I don't have to go too deep in that. If Duncan Robinson misses, then I do and I will have interest in Jenkins. 4,400, pretty great, solid value option. He's going to shoot, rebound, and score. He will legit do it all. He's like a miniature Energizer Bunny out there for them. A sword GPP option, Jalen Duren. This is a pretty solid spot, and I don't mind going to him. Rebounding wise, I just saw Marvin Bagley be able to go out there and crush on the glass going up against them. And in 27 minutes, he had 33 fantasy points versus the Bucks earlier this season. Definitely do not mind taking him here in this position spot. Love the upside, love the position, and I'm pretty okay with it. Tobias Harris, Isaiah Stewart, Ausar Thompson, all okay options, but GPP, not anything that I'm mainly focused on over there. Looking on the Bucks side of things, as long as Giannis is in, Giannis is Giannis, bro. Power forwards, they have been able to just eat apart Tobias Harris defense. Only thing is we just got to make sure he's not too limited and actually out there to play. Giannis, definitely wouldn't mind going right there to him. If Kevin Porter Jr. is out, then I'll have interest in Rollins, but if KPJ is in, I do not want Rollins at all. He's still adjusting to having KPJ being out there with him. And then Kevin Porter Jr., if he's actually playing, not limited, yes, please. I'll go right back to it. Kid is a baller. And I mean, he just shows it. Like, that's why I think that they were okay with getting rid of Damian Lillard, because they knew that they had the next man up right there in KPG and what he could actually be able to go out there and do. So I do love the upside for Kevin Porter Jr. Outside of that, not really too interested in anyone else over here from them. From the Milwaukee Bucks, it's just like they're there. They're honestly just there. All right, last game of the slate, Dallas taking on the Miami Heat. This should be a fast-paced game, of course, because we know Miami, they love to push the pace. Tyler Hero, Bam, Andrew Wiggins, all three of those guys definitely in play. Oh, and Davion Mitchell, actually, if he's still going to be starting. Love the upside for all these guys right here. Should be a pretty great game. Definitely don't mind them, and they're kind of like nobody's really going to want to play them, but definitely would want to have one of them as a late-night hammer. Biggs, Bam Adebayo, he's in a great spot, and we've seen opposing centers crush going up against Dallas with or without Anthony Davis. This could be one of those spots where we actually can get that. And if you can actually get up to him, then definitely, of course, Tyler Hero, he's right there. But Davion Mitchell, he kind of just seems to be as like the forgotten guy. 5,100, not a bad option. I definitely wouldn't mind taking him as my like value play over there, just to get exposure to a late night hammer on the slate. And then, of course, on the Dallas side of things, as long as they're going to actually start Nembhard, I don't mind him for value. Anthony Davis, he's fine. He's okay. But Najee Marsh, if he's actually going to be in the starting lineup, I definitely don't mind going towards him as a potential option. I'm not really a big Cooper Flag fan, just be honest. Yes, I've seen it. He's dropped back to back. Really great games, 40 plus fantasy points. GPP option to me. I'm not necessarily running and gunning to go play Cooper Flag, but definitely something that you could take if you have that interest right there on that side. All right, guys, I'm sorry. Kind of had to rush the video at the end. Again, got to get people to school and just had to deal with something this morning. But core going up closer to lock. Good luck to everybody on today's slate. Peace.